right, this is Coach Jason with Win Your Days. We're talking about the Win Your Days system, and I gave you the entire system in the last video, but only broke down the first two, and we ran out of time. And the first two were assess and game plan. And I told you about the centenarians that if I had to live life all over again, I would assess more. I would reflect more on my life, make sure I'm heading in the right direction. Number two, once you assess, put together a game plan, right? Could be multiple areas of your life, like your marriage, your finances, other relationships, your physical health. You might have been so focused on work that you let yourself go physically. And I'm here to tell you, one of the greatest ways to win in life is to take care of your physical health, because you can amass a fortune and not be around to enjoy it and to watch your loved ones enjoy it. So if you feel like you're not where you need to be with your physical health, assess that. Game plan. What's the game plan? I'm going to go to the gym 3 days a week, and the gym membership. And I love what James Clear says in his book, Atomic Habits. He says, when you create these habits, the chances or the probability of a man following through. Do you ever feel like you don't follow through on things that you commit to? Okay, this might be the reason. Here's what James Clear says. If you would put, he puts it in a little formula. If you would put time, I think he calls it day, time, place. If you would write that down in your calendar. So let's take health, for example. I'm going to work out Monday morning, 6 a.m. at such and such gym, and you put it in the calendar, that the probability of you doing that goes up significantly. You do that in any area of your life. I need to improve my marriage. Okay, one of the ways I can do that is as a man, I can take ownership and leadership and create and plan out awesome date nights. So on Thursday night at 6 p.m., we're going to go to this certain place, listen to live music, eat some dinner, enjoy a glass of wine, whatever the case may be, right? So day, time, and place. A little tip. That's one thing that I implement in my life as well. So assess, you come up with the game plan. Now, the next two, the last two parts of the Win Your Day system is execute and win. You can have the best game plan, but if you don't execute it, does it matter? Does it matter? No. Oh my gosh, it's gold. Your game plan is gold. Now, as a man, follow through, commit. Remember the aimless athlete. The aimless athlete, he'll even sometimes come up with a game plan, but he doesn't execute. He procrastinates. He makes excuses. And then when the thing doesn't go his way, he points the finger and casts blame. Does that make any sense? But that's why he stays aimless. That's why he continues to play small. That's why he stays stagnant. That's why he feels defeated and powerless. And when the aimless athlete gets to the end of his life, he's going to have regret and look back on his family. His family members are going to be going, what happened? Why did life end like that? Well, because the aimless athlete leads that way. I don't want that to be you. Certainly, I don't want it to be either one of us. So we got to be that. We have to choose to be the deliberate athlete. And the deliberate athlete, he has a system for winning, and he executes the system so that winning becomes a habit. And so he executes on the game plan. I'm reminded of one of my favorite analogies, true story. It was the 2000 Olympics hosted in Sydney, Australia. Great Britain had this crew team, and it was a men's crew team, and I can't remember. I think it was a 4-man boat, but I'm not positive on that. Let's just say, for the sake of this story, it's a 4-man boat. They're favored to win the gold. They were crushing their competition. So they get to Sydney early because they want to acclimate. They want to get the boat in the water and row and get used to the course and the time change and all this stuff. Well, something happened when they got to Sydney. They were so well known that all of a sudden papers and dignitaries and politicians and interviews, everybody wanted a piece of their time, and photo shoots and autograph sessions and all these things, that they weren't putting the boat in the water very much. And one of the guys said, we're going to blow our chances at gold if we don't figure this out. So what did they just do right there? They assessed. They assessed what was going on around them. Like, we're being really distracted. We're allowing ourselves to be distracted. So we got to come up with a game plan. And so here was the game plan. They said, all right, we got to figure this out. Said, if before, here's what they said, before we say yes to anything else, we're going to ask ourselves this question. Will saying yes make the boat go faster or slower? Isn't that beautiful? Think about your life, your goals, where you're heading. And the aimless athlete allows himself to get distracted. He puts things in the boat, like he'll put addictions, he'll put procrastination, he'll put a lack of focus, scatterbrained, wandering in the boat, and so the boat's all over the place. But these guys asked the question that a deliberate athlete would ask. Is saying yes to this going to make my boat go faster or slower? And if the answer is slower, we got to say no. If the answer is no, if this is going to make our boat go faster and the answer is no, we're not doing it. We got to cut it out of our life, cut it off and cut it out. And that's what they did. They executed the game plan. They put the boat in the water and they got to rowing. And what happened? Well, it naturally, through habit, leads to winning. Assess, game plan, execute leads to winning. If you have the right system in place and you do that in your life, it leads to winning becomes a habit in your life. And so they won the gold. Incredible. That's awesome. That's what I want to share with you. So important. Here's the thing. You don't know what tomorrow brings, or later on, even later on this day, this night, tomorrow or next week. You don't know what it brings. I don't know what it brings. Yet winning can be a habit. Even though you don't know what life brings you, winning can be a habit. I know life gets messy. I know you don't always feel like you're winning, but you can win even through the messes, simply by establishing great habits in your life. Assess, game plan, execute, win. I remember when my fourth born son, we were doing the ultrasound. He was getting close to his birth, a couple months away, 3 months away. And we were told through that ultrasound that he was going to be born with spina bifida and hydrocephalus. And the doctor said, he's going to be brain damaged. He's never going to walk. You're going to have multiple surgeries. And he created this laundry list of negativity and then said, you ought to abort your son. And that was, at that point in my life, the most difficult thing I've ever faced as a father. And my wife and I looked at each other. She's in tears. So I'm trying to support. I'm trying to wrap my head and my heart around what I'm hearing. And I told that doctor, no, thank you. We're not aborting. We got another doctor. And then Sam was born, and he has had 33 surgeries in the first 17 years of his life. And a lot of his upbringing, I'm with the other three trying to grow Trinity Fitness. My wife's off at either Arnold Palmer Hospital or what is now Advent Health. It was Florida Hospital back in the day. And just there for surgeries and long recoveries and home care and things. And I'm here to tell you that even though life is messy, you can win through that. You don't know sometimes what's coming. I remember that in the midst of a couple of hard surgeries that Sam was going through, one of our teenagers tried to take their own life in our house. And we didn't know about it till the next day. That was devastating to our family. And I remember just grabbing my family members and going to counseling and trying to figure things out. But it was because I had established certain habits in my life that it put me on a track, this solid foundation of knowing who I am, what kind of athlete I am in the game of life, which determine how I play the game regardless of what's happening in the arena in the moment, the unexpecteds that come. A few years ago, my wife, this was 2020, my wife was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. I don't know if you know anything about Parkinson's disease, but there's no cure and it's progressive. So it's going to continue, obviously progressing in her life. So like, I'm telling you, these are gut-wrenching, tough, messy things that they can derail a man's life if he doesn't have a system in place for winning. And I'm here to tell you that you can win regardless of what the enemy is whispering in your ear. You can win regardless how messy your playing field is. You can win regardless of what's happened in your past. You can win regardless of what decisions you've made. You can win regardless of the addiction that you might have in your life right now. You can overcome. There are ways. Your past doesn't have to be your future. And I'm here to tell you as a coach, winning is possible for you in this game of life, right? And I want to encourage you with that. I've got one more video that I want to share with you on winning, and that'll be the next video. Thank you for listening. I know you've hung in there. If you've hung in there this long, you've hung in there. You must really want to win like I do. I want to remind you that as a man, the most significant stadium you'll ever play in is the stadium of your life. And this is where it really counts. This is where winning really matters. And I'm cheering you on in this game. Assess, game plan, execute, win. Let's go. Click like, click subscribe. More videos coming. If you want to do a free 1 hour live training with me on this Win Your Days system, I do them several times a month. Go to my website, winyourdays.com, to sign up. See you there.